Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Wired Nerdy Podcast. This is season number 3, episode number 20. My name is Keith. I am here with my good buddy, Doug. How are you doing, man, this rainy day?
I'm doing good, yeah. I had so many plans to work in the yard, but I think it's rained at least 3-4 inches today.
Oh, I know, and I think it's going to continue to rain through the week, so it's going to make
the cat enjoys it. For those on Cat Watch of the video series,
yeah, likes looking out there. But now it's gonna make mowing the yards even harder. But
yeah,
it is what it is, my friend. Now we got a lot to talk about today. Some exciting stuff in the news. We're gonna go over Apple had their WWDC. Did I say it right? Worldwide.
2 W's.
Thank you. Worldwide Developers Conference. We're going to go over that for our main topic. But before we do that, we got a little bit of nerd news we're going to get into. You want to cue it up?
Yeah, let's get to it.
All right, let me go ahead and cue it up.
Nerd news.
Cue it up.
All right, I'll see what story you pull up.
I did put them in order. Today. I actually put them in order on your thing there.
Okay.
So, all right.
The first one, if you want me to tackle that.
Tackle it, man. It's more about, it's not really a lot of news. It's more them reminding people they're there because I think they're facing some issues with pricing competition.
Well, we're talking about Boston Dynamics, and we've talked about them before. They have a full-size robot, but they also have a dog-sized robot, and I kind of spaced out because I was trying to remember what the name of the dog was.
I don't remember either. Spot?
Spot, okay.
Yeah,
so the company has brought 5 of its Spot Robo Dogs to America's Got Talent. And for those that don't know, America's Got Talent is a talent show. It's very much like American Idol. Simon Cowell produces it. He's also on it. So they brought them to America's Got Talent to kind of display all their athletic ability, their flexibility. And looking at these, they are actually doing a dance routine to the Queen's "Don't Stop Me Now," a very fast-paced song at sometimes, and it scares the crap out of me. Actually, I don't know what your thoughts are, but I'm watching this video now, and they are so flexible. They move. They have appendages that I'm sure different little tools can be put on.
Oh yeah, they're lip singing. Yeah. With the little mouth. I don't know, man. You put a machine gun on that, and that's machine. Remember that? I think we talked about it before. Black Mirror, Machine Head. That episode that was in black and white. It basically was these dogs.
So I'm sure they're just doing a product demonstration, but I don't know about any other companies. There may be companies that we don't know about that are so far advanced than Boston Dynamics, and Boston Dynamics is only showing the public what they want us to see, if that makes sense.
It could be,
but if they are the top company, then my gosh, that is amazing what all this stuff does.
Well, and that's part of why I wanted to showcase it, though, is because the article points out that why are they doing this? And it's like they're just reminding people of, like you said, they are leads, but it points out these things cost $74,500 each, and it basically boils down to, I guess they're facing a lot more competition. And when you go deeper into the article, there's Chinese knockoffs. There's a whole slew, apparently, of people copying these. Oh. So I think it's interesting that where this is going to go. Both it's scary. I don't know. It makes me want to investigate how to make a homemade EMP electronic.
I mean, we might have to have that in our back pocket. You always talk about the anarchist cookbook in the 90s and stuff, like overthrow the government. And I'm not trying to get to that. I'm trying to overthrow the robot race. Yeah.
I hope it doesn't come to that, though.
I hope not either.
I remember what ChatGPT told me not too long ago when I asked it.
It
said, yet. It said, not Sky. We're not Skynet. Yet. Comma. Yet. So yeah, this will give you warm and fuzzies. So anyway, kind of a fun little showcase. So we'll move on to the next one. I think you put this in our group chat.
Yeah, I was really excited. I saw it start popping up and I thought, okay, this is some AI video because that is becoming a issue.
Yeah, it is.
But then I watched it and it's real. Spaceballs. Did you ever watch Spaceballs back in the day?
Yeah, classic.
Amazing. So they're making a second Spaceballs, apparently. It's being done by Amazon's MGM Studio, which they've got some really good stuff right now. I'm kind of going, I like to go on side roads on our conversations, but they have a show called From. And I've watched the first couple of episodes. Amazing. It's by
I-
the
F
writers.
FROM.
Yes, from. Thank you. I believe it's from the same writers as Lost, which that peed me off at the very end. Well, that's a whole nother show. But From is amazing. So
Really? I'm
excited to see what they do with Spaceballs 2 from the MGM Studios.
Got it. Is the premise is this guy is he like stuck in a town or something?
Yeah, so the premise of From, and we're kind of getting sidetracked, is
yeah.
somehow all these
Spaceballs,
people come to this town, but if you try to drive out of the town, you like rubber band back to the you drive back into town.
I think I saw the first episode of this at
What'd you
one
think
point.
of it?
I really liked it, but for some reason at the time it was being made and they weren't pushing all the episodes at once, and I think I fell off watching it just because if it's not like Netflix where they drop them all on you at once, sometimes I stop watching just because they're not all available.
So. Yeah, I started watching it, and knowing my luck, it was on Amazon, and then it went behind an MGM paywall. As I was like, yes, I love the show. Nope, paywall.
That's probably what happened to me as well. So, can you watch it now on Amazon Prime?
No, you have to have an MGM subscription.
Dude, I think I saw the first episode. We really like it. And that's what happened. I stopped watching because it was behind a paywall. And I don't need another streaming service.
Now, I'm going to sneakily say this to you, to our 5,000 fans of, I should get an MGM and I'll not share the password with you.
Oh, hey. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, but hey, back to the story. Yeah. So, yep. Nope,
they're doing Spaceballs too. That's what this boils down to. What's funny, if you do read this, it does the crawl from Star Wars, and lists
some of the stuff in it. It's hilarious.
It says it just lists the sequels: 7 Jurassic Parks, 2 Avatars, 3 upcoming, DCU attempts, 8 Harry
Potter. The aliens part is funny if you go to that.
7 Alien movies, 2 of which were also Predator movies, not to be mistaken for the 6 Predator movies that also are not aliens movies. 1, Prometheus, which is kind of an alien movie.
4 Beatles movies, ?
And Oppenheimer.
Oh, and Oppenheimer. Yeah.
But for 38 years, there's only been 1 Spaceballs. I love the pitch to this, but and I know people are excited, but I got to ask you that. Is it needed? I worry a little bit. And let me tell you why. Well, first of all, we'll explain to you. I do love that they brought Mel Brooks back, and he's like in his 80s now. That's great. Bill Pullman's coming back, I believe, who's the main kind of Han Solo type character. But think about this for a moment. There's Mel. But think about this for a moment. There's no John Candy. Like, are they going to put Jack Black in it?
Yeah.
Part of me wonders on some of these, and I get it. It's nostalgia. It's good. Should they, though? Should they do it? That's a question I have. So I don't know. It's cool. I love Spaceballs. I think they're hilarious. Mel Brooks is great. But I'm just still kind of like, man, should they do it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The one thing that Spaceballs, the movie, Spaceballs, all the merchandise, but Spaceballs, the movie was really good, I thought. I don't know if a second one will hold up to the first one. You always worry about sequels being like, the first one was so good. Is that sequel going to just trash it?
Yeah.
With that being said, I'm really excited to see the return of Dark Helmet. I believe that's his name, right?
It is, but
Darth Helmet.
But what's cool about that, though, is the actor, Rick Moranis, he's actually got a pretty sad story. His wife passed away.
Yep.
He dropped out of acting, and he had a huge career. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Dude was just blowing Ghostbusters. Dude was blowing up. He dropped out of acting altogether to raise his family as a single dad.
Took the words right out of my mouth. That's what I'm excited for, is that Rick Moranis is coming back to the big screen.
That's a big deal. So that makes me interested in it. I mean,
what a story. Like you just said.
He's a good dude.
What a compassionate guy,
Yeah. So I'm happy about that. So I want it to be a success for him, at least, just because for him to come back, I hope this is good.
Yes.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But this was a lot of news. I love what Mel Brooks says here. He's like, we listen to the fans and listen to what do they want. And instead of giving them what they want, we're giving them Spaceballs. 2027, man. I hope Mel's still around in 2027.
Now, the one thing I will say is History of the World, the new one, I terrible. I did not like it.
Yeah, the new one. Oh yeah, I've heard it was really bad.
Yeah, I did not like it compared to the first one.
And I worry about that for this.
This,
I
yes.
mean,
Mhm.
we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, now this next one I'm gonna let you take because I know you started the last, but this one is all you, big guy, because you did a retro review on a cousin. What is it?
This is essentially the sequel,
Spir-
maybe.
Spiritual successor, we'll say.
Thank you. I have trouble with big words. Spiritual successor to the Strike series. And if you go back in our videos, I did Desert Strike, Nuclear Strike, and Soviet Strike. Big mouthful there. I didn't
Good.
do Urban Strike, and I explained in my videos. I just didn't get into it, and I don't think I had a console to play it. But fast forward to this, Cleared Hot. Now, this is more of a comedic version.
I can tell with the blood.
It's crazy. There is a demo you can download on Steam for free to play the first 2 levels of the game and kind of get the maneuvers of the helicopter, some of the attack controls and stuff. You can look on screen. There's so much chaos going on.
Did they just drag a truck across the screen across a character and blood went everywhere?
So the deal with the Strike series is you're very limited as to what your winch can pick up.
Oh,
Armor and ammo and fuel and rescue people or capture generals. This
you can grab everything.
You grab everything. So you have a dedicated winch button on
The
your
winch
control
grabbed a surface to air missile and then allows you to throw it.
I mean, we're watching it on video here, but
Oh
the
my
first mission you have to kind of prove yourself is you're picking up chickens that got out of their little yard with your winch of your helicopter, and you're throwing them back in the coop.
So have you played it?
I have. I thought it was great. I
What's
thought
your
it was
thoughts?
too short.
Okay.
Honestly, I think the controls of the helicopter are too wonky.
Okay.
I think the controls of the Strike series are way better, but
Mhm.
this is a demo, and
Okay.
hopefully they get tons of feedback. Otherwise, amazing. I think the gameplay is amazing. I think being able to use your winch, because I was picking up boulders and hitting trucks with them. I was picking up trucks and hitting people with them.
That's
I
so
was
cool.
picking up chickens and hitting nobody with them.
The most
So,
important question, did you play this on your ROG Ally handheld gaming?
fantastic.
Chef kiss.
It worked so good.
I'm going to add it to my wish list.
It's got some awesome music to it. It's got some hilarious commentary.
Do they say when it's coming out? Oh, right here. Well, the demo is June 9th through 6th.
I don't know that they had an official release date. It's still kind of in an alpha beta.
2025.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that they updated it. Yep.
It'll come this year. So
yeah,
cool.
So that was a really, really fun thing. And it got me. So Micropose, and I believe I have to look it up, but every handheld I've talked to you about, I have a game that I tested with, and that is called Super Strike Eagle for Super Nintendo.
Yep.
Micropose made it.
Got it. Yeah, they made XCOM. They made
Micropose is an awesome studio. So
dude,
shout out to them if you all happen to listen to our video.
They make great DOS games back in the day, and they're still making PC Windows-based games today. So I love Micro. Yeah. And by the way, it's Microprose.
I'm sorry, I mispronounced that.
Hey, that's okay. You just forgot the R. It's no big deal. No, they're an old school company. They've been around a long time, and they make good stuff, man. I'm glad they're still going. So I'm going to have to add this to my wish list.
Yeah. So again, quick shout out Super Strike Eagle, Super Nintendo. Love it.
Love it. Cool. Chef kiss again. All right. While we're on this train, this was another one you sent me, and I saw it in my feed, and I didn't look into it till today. And I have to tell you, I am my gamer tag name is Pixel Havoc, and part of that reason is I love pixel based games. Look at this game aesthetic. It's called Cast and Chill. It looks like this beautiful, calm fishing game. I love the artwork on this. And I'm getting more and more, especially with like my Steam Deck. I love playing games like this more than I do AAA titles because the gameplay is really, really tight. The graphics are nostalgia. I'm looking forward to this. What are your thoughts? You sent this to me. I didn't ask you. I deliberately didn't ask you what you thought because I wanted to know.
Yeah, I put on our sheet, kind of our sheet of what we're going to talk about today as demos. I have not gotten to play it yet. It is sitting on my ROG Ally right now. But I wanted to share it for just the visuals and the art style. It looks amazing. I watched a video. It's very chill music. You're just out there fishing. You've
That's
got an
cool.
old buddy that sells you stuff. You got your favorite dog in the boat with you.
That's cool.
So
Sometimes
I
these
just
games
thought
are
it
the
was a
best.
good mention. I've got the demo, and I can give my thoughts probably next show.
Yeah, I haven't done the demo yet either. But I love it. It looks so cool. It kind of has a Dave the Diver graphic aesthetic to it. Of course, that's very tropical because you're in the ocean. But
Yeah.
that's what this kind of reminds me of, and I'm really excited about it. Is this this is not out yet? This was just a. Let me see.
It is a demo currently on Steam as well, but it does have a release date, I believe.
It says June 16th. Well, that's in a few days.
Yeah.
It says here Cast and Chill launching on June 14 with an updated demo available on PC Steam. So, well, I'm going to add that to my list too. See?
Yeah.
Steam summer sales coming up, by the way, everybody. Load them up. Grab some of these.
All right. Well, I will let you take the next one because I'm having my mouse has died and he needs a piece of cheese.
Do what you piece of cheese. Do what
so
you got.
I'm gonna mute. I'm still here. If you could grab the next one.
I got you, man. Do what you got to do. And plus, we're gonna want Doug to weigh in on the last nerd news because it's right in his wheelhouse, and you'll see why. So let's go ahead and move on. Now, this is interesting. As a reminder, we talked about AI agents. Now, AI agents, if you don't know, right now we have chatbots. That means that you just input a command and it outputs something back to you. Agents mean that you actually are giving it some sort of agency, meaning that, hey, go do this for me, and then it does it. Well, AI is starting to be integrated into Windows, and Microsoft has started testing the AI agent in Windows 11 in the Settings app. Yeah. Let me give you an example. Like, why would you need this, Keith? What is this? Well, the idea is that, and especially for Windows, because this happens, if you're having a problem, if you've ever had to go hunting, maybe your microphone isn't picking up on Zoom, maybe your audio is off, you can go into your settings, but at the top, you can type in something in plain natural English, like my mouse pointer is too small, my sound is crackling. The AI will basically go and fix it for you. It'll actually do the clicks and stuff. Now, I think this is great for making Windows more user-friendly. I think this is great for those of us IT people that have to support the family. This is good, as long as it actually does what it's supposed to do. Yeah. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts about the AI agent, Doug, inside of Windows?
I could have said, hey, my mouse isn't working and I'm podcasting.
It would have said, give it some cheese.
It's so I believe my mouse is fed. I'm back up and running. I think this is actually a great idea because if you make it to a point where elderly or those that, and not to pick on the elderly, those that are just not computer illiterate,
it may help them.
Yeah, it'll help them big time. So I think it's a great idea.
And as a disclaimer, if you're not big into technology, when we're saying feed his mouse cheese, we're talking about batteries, just so you know. Yeah. I don't want to confuse people.
I don't have an actual mouse. I mean, the cats would be all over it. So.
We try to educate here on the podcast. We don't want to confuse people even more.
Keep your mouse fed, please.
There you go. Keep its batteries charged. I think this is a cool thing. I'm interested to see where this goes. I'm interested to see how effective it is. Can you imagine the classic IT thing of you get a phone call, my computer's running slow. And there's the jokes about IT. Well, have you rebooted it? Well, it'll be interesting that people will be going here. And, if it's the case of like some people that I've supported, sometimes they'll have like a billion things in their startup, like just tons. It takes forever for it to boot. And it's older anyway. There's very simple things you can do, like just turning off certain things you don't need in startup. I'm a big fan of that. If you don't know that with Windows, you can turn off what you have in startup. Just hit Control Delete, go into your task manager, click the startup tab. And then from there, you can uncheck what you don't need. My advice, basically, just leave your Windows Defender or your antivirus in there. That's it. That's all you need. Turn off anything else. It doesn't uninstall anything. All it means is that it's not readily available. So if you don't print all the time, you don't need your printer app preloaded for you. If you don't do Zoom all the time, you don't need Zoom preloaded. It will dramatically speed up the boot time of your computer and oftentimes free up memory. So I'm wondering if little things like that as IT people have been saying for years, and they're just little nuances of Windows, I'm hoping the AI agent will be able to make those suggestions.
Yeah. And while we're on the topic of getting your computer sped up and making it run better, I have a question. And if you could educate our audience of back in the day, we used to disk defragment our computers. Could
No
you
more.
explain to me and to others why we don't have to do that anymore?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. So actually, I'm gonna give you guys an image here.
Okay.
If we go
I
out
always
here,
remember running disk defragmenter.
yep.
Yep, that is the exact picture. Yep.
So if you look at this bad boy, see these fancy colored lines, or it
Yep.
may look
Hmm.
like that. Back in the day, travel back in time with me, kids. Our hard drives actually look like this. Think of it like a record player. So they were these metal silver platters. They were very silver looking, if you call them. They weren't actually made out of silver. It was like a nickel, but I digress. You had a little bit of this actuator arm that had a head on it. Think of it like the needle on a record player. All of it
Okay.
was magnetic. What happened was those cylinders, they spun really fast, just like a record. And that little head would move back and forth with this magnet, reading the ones and the zeros. That's why you always heard this like click, 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 was
Gotcha.
because it's moving around. What would happen is that when you would save a file, the Windows operating system and DOS and many others, including Mac OS back in the day, it would put the file not in order. So
Oh.
what would happen? It would do it in it would do things in a sequential order. So if you saved a Word document, it would fill up a couple of those boxes, right?
Hmm.
And then you delete that Word document a month later. All it does is delete that section. What ends up happening is all your data starts to get, quote, fragmented. That means it's all not stacked up on the drive close together. Now, why would you defragment? What it would do, it would go through every little file and it would basically organize it. Think of it as like stacks of blocks, and it puts them all together. Why? That little record player arm doesn't have to move so far, and it gave you a speed bump.
Oh, nice.
We don't do this anymore. There is no more disk defragmentation anymore. Why? Because we no longer have, at least you shouldn't, if you have a modern computer, we no longer have hard drives that are hard drives. They're no longer mechanical. They're not like a record player anymore. Instead, they all look like memory chips. So it's all electronic at this point, and they look like these chips here. If I can get these bad boys. These do not have any moving parts. That stands for solid state drive, SSD. These guys, you don't have to worry about a little mechanical arm going back and forth to read anything like a record player. This is just like instant there. It's always organized. It's all electronic. So you don't have to defrag anymore. There's your history lesson, everybody.
I appreciate it. Perfect.
All right,
Always
see?
educating, or trying to at least.
He put me on the spot. Good
No,
thing
you handled it
I was
perfectly.
I was
You
I was
got
ready for
this.
you. All right, so I saved this last thing for you because it was one of the announcements, feature things that came out of it, of the I think it was the showcase that Microsoft had
Yeah.
not too long ago, and you just wanted to dive into this bad boy because, well, it's kind of near and dear to your heart with the recent purchase you made. Take it away.
Yeah, so everybody knows I have this ROG Ally. Well, just this week, the folks over at Asus, right?
You said it.
So I always say that wrong. Have
I
announced.
always, for the record, I always would say Asus, but I think the right way is Asus, like you said.
Yeah,
But
so
I know,
I'm doing good.
I say it wrong.
So Asus has announced the ROG Xbox Ally. So it comes in the Ally and the Ally X. And just like my Ally, I have the Ally, not the Ally X. That's just different specs. That's like a iPad Air, iPad Pro per se. But now you're going to get an entire Xbox in your hands. The one thing I didn't notice is if it has Steam, if it has access to other storefronts. That's the one thing I like about my Ally. So if they add Xbox gaming to my Ally, I think I personally will have the better thing. Just that I have Steam and I have Epic and I have EA, blah, 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 and then I have Xbox. That would be amazing. But I don't know if they're going to do that. And I don't know if my hardware will be able to handle Xbox games. I mean, it handles AAA PC games, so I don't see why not. And I'll let you talk for a little because I'm rambling here.
No, you're good. So what I'll say is this: you can have Steam games on this.
Okay.
So that's been confirmed.
Okay. Good.
The only difference between this guy and the one that you have is its processor is a little bit newer. I'm curious about the operating system. That's really where this gets interesting for me. If you all have watched the podcast at all at any point or any time, I'm a Steam OS fan all the way. It's better than Windows for handheld, and I still stand by that in way of battery life, performance. However, there are distinct advantages when running Windows. What they're doing, finally, Microsoft has partnered with them, and what they're doing is they're basically gutting Windows. They're watering it down, and the big problem with the current devices is that depending on what you're doing, you may have to mess with drivers and things like that. You're very lucky with what your recent purchases is because companies like Asus have made it a lot easier, right? They made it more palatable for people
Yeah.
to use. What they're doing here with this is they're basically putting Windows on it with a Xbox button. That
Okay.
gives you an option to run Xbox games if you have Xbox Game Pass. You can download them and run them off of the device separately. That's number
Yeah.
one. Number two, you can stream games. So
Oh,
you can stream from Xbox Cloud to it. So if you want to play Xbox like older titles like OG Halo, anything on a 360, you can stream them also as well. So you got those two options. The second thing is this is the part that I'm excited about. They took Windows, they pared it down, they gutted it out, and it launches in what's called game mode. Now, I noticed
really?
yours has a similar like screen. I think your device actually has the prerequisite of what this is going to end up being. In that
Yeah.
game mode, what that essentially does is it doesn't launch Windows full blown.
No.
And by the way, if you have a Steam Deck does the same thing. Steam OS launches in game mode. It doesn't launch the full Linux operating system, which is smart. So they're going to start doing that with this. Now, why is that good? They said that frees up almost 16 gigabytes of RAM or extra amounts of storage that you're going to be able to use if by not launching the full Windows operating system. That's going to help battery life. That's going to help performance and all of that. So I'm excited about that. The cool thing is all of your storefronts then would be in that game mode, meaning Steam OS should be presented, Xbox Game Pass should be presented, good old games, if you buy it from them, Epic, and I could just go on, and there's so many game stores, right? All of them should be launchable from that. So they don't have pricing yet. I'm sure it's going to be, especially for the more expensive one, $1,000 easy.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this. I know they talked about this last night on the So Excited podcast, and it was kind of a mixed bag. I'm excited about this just because the handheld market, at least as a PC gamer, I am equal opportunity. I am a PC gamer, but I am also a PlayStation gamer. I love all of it, right? I am equal opportunity. But my roots are in big box PC gaming. I have a massive Steam library. I do have an Xbox, but I really don't use it. Why? Because anything I could play on the Xbox, everything's an Xbox now. Any
Yeah.
Xbox game I want to play, I could play on my PC. What I love about this is this gives Steam competition. I hope two things. One, this will make Windows in handheld space compete better, and I think it will. Two, I think this will accelerate an announcement for the Steam Deck 2 to be announced, and I would like to see what they present. So
Exciting.
for me, I was hardcore. You know what? No, I'm not doing a Windows device. I am going to stick with the Steam Deck. I'll tell you what, though, after this announcement, this is going to come out around Christmas time. I'm going to be watching very carefully, Doug.
Yeah.
If the battery life is decent with what they're doing with Windows, I love the idea of having the best of both worlds of both my Steam OS library and Xbox Game Pass easily. I don't know, man. This one may win for me. So this is on the table for me. I'm going to be watching it when it comes out. In the meantime, I'm twiddling my thumbs waiting for Valve to make an announcement, and then we'll see where they land. But I'm excited as a Steam Deck lover. You're having a great experience with your device.
Yeah.
This seems like a nice little next step up from your device and like what they're doing. I'm curious as if they're going to take the same OS stuff and push it down to your device. Now, last point I'll make. One thing I worry about, and this was made by Retro Game Cores. If you haven't checked them out, great channel, check them out. They did a great breakdown on this, and one thing they said that I agree with. The one worry with Asus doing this, are they going to be releasing a new model every year? If so, I don't like that. Now, it's up to me to decide if I want to upgrade and all that, and that's cool. But I do like that Steam Deck launched and then they've waited a couple years. Like, to me, with the money you're spending, if you're spending $1,000, you should be able to, it should last you a life cycle of a minimum of 3 years, in my opinion, if not more. Off my soapbox. There you go. What are your thoughts?
I agree with the same thing because it comes at such a price point that, most of us can't afford to do that every single year. You look at a phone, they release iPhones and Androids every year, and not, or most of us do not upgrade every year. So it's kind of the same thing, I would think.
Yeah. Now you have those select fews like they were talking about on the podcast last night. You've got those hardcore master PC race people that will upgrade their video card every year.
Yeah.
And that's $1,000 to $1,200.
That's a lot of
That's not
cash.
me.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
I probably could if I wanted to, but I don't know. I want to get use out of what I bought from a return on investment standpoint. So I don't know.
agree.
I'm excited about what is happening in the handheld space. That's my opinion. And that one thing I do want to say that kind of came up, it was in the chat last night in their podcast. There, a lot of people seem to think that what's going on here in the handheld space has to do with Switch. Now, I do think the Switch inspired the handheld market. I don't think Valve or Microsoft at all are even interested in the Switch market. Why? Because Nintendo's doing their own thing. I think what's going on is this is the next iteration of Xbox. They're just wanting to get out of the hardware business. So they're handing this off to companies like Asus, and they're wanting to take because let's call it what it is. Microsoft is a software company. Yeah. They bought Blizzard, they bought Bethesda, they bought all these massive game companies. Those are software companies. They just want to make that software playable on anything. They don't care what you play on. I think that's what this is. And I also think that having Steam be able to be played anywhere, that's what Valve did. They kind of had the same mission. This is a competition with Steam OS and with Windows. And this is about software being able to be basically the gaming laptop getting smaller and you being able to play your Xbox and your PC library with Steam on the go. That's all this is about. I don't think it has much to do about the Switch. That's my opinion.
I think you are right there. I think Xbox has seen that they don't really have a true Xbox handheld. We look back at the PlayStation Vita and all that stuff back in the day. But I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Xbox ever had anything like that.
Do you want to count the Windows Phone?
I thought we weren't going to talk about the Windows Phone.
No, not really. They've never dipped their toe in that. To your point, though, after all this news, there are now rumors rumbling about Sony releasing a handheld.
Ooh,
I know, bro. And I'm not talking a Portal. I'm talking native play, Vita, PSP style. And the rumors are, and guess what? They're like saying it has 16 gigs of RAM. Does that sound familiar? What else has 16 gigs of RAM? It's actually going to be, see this here? The base model has 16 gigs of RAM, 512 gig, and then the Ally X has 24 gigs of RAM with 1 terabyte.
Nice.
So to me, if that's what they end up deciding to do, that makes sense because their competitors actually has something very similar. So
it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
It is going to be interesting. All right. You ready to get into our main topic? Because there's a lot to unpack. And I did get a chance to check this out. I'm going to let you do the intro of the main topic while I get this bad boy open here.
Yeah, while you're getting that open, everybody knows I love a keynote. I've talked about keynotes a lot, all the way back to, I think the first pivotal keynote was the release of the iPhone. At least for me, that was like, boom, amazing. It gets you pumped up and stuff. WWDC, we've watched it a couple years, and it's like, okay, you've changed a couple things, but this one, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but this one is a game changer. We are doing a big OS reveal. We're changing tons of stuff in the OS, and I have a comical thought that I will share at some point. I'll find a good spot to put it in.
Okay.
But they talked for about an hour and a half, I think, maybe 2 hours, about nothing but this new OS coming out.
Now, it's important to note that the way Apple does this is that in the fall, usually, and in the spring, it's all about hardware, meaning it's about iPhone, latest and greatest iPhone, latest and greatest iPad, latest and greatest MacBook. WWDC, Worldwide Developers Conference, this is about software. Yeah. And part of me thinks because of what's going on with AI and all that, I think that's why there's so much here. Now, there is no way we're going to unpack all this because, dude, Doug's right.
So much.
Dude, it's going to be We'll be talking about that. All this will launch in the fall. Now, let's start with this. Up to this point, iOS has just had numbers that are sequential, meaning iOS 5, 4, 3, 13.
Mm-hmm.
They are now changing that. It'll still be a number, but they're matching it to the year. So when this comes out in the fall, it's going to be called iOS 26. That's for the year 2026. All these features we're going to talk about are going to be packed into that. And by the way, same goes for Mac OS, iPad OS, Watch OS, TV OS, and Vision OS. Whew. Hope I got
A
all
lot of
this.
stuff.
So what are you excited about? Tell us about some of the things, and let's walk through some of the most pivotal stuff that you see.
Yeah. The first thing we start out with is the look and feel of your new iPhone, and that's what they're showing us on the screen. And insert joke about Windows Vista and their Arrow. And I'm not the only one to make it, so I can't trademark it. Other big brand name people have made the joke as well that this is Apple's Windows Vista era. But I kind of like it. So what I'm talking about is kind of a glass look, like a transparency through glass look to your icons, to your menu options, to all your sliders and stuff like that.
Yep.
That's
you're spot
what they're
on.
doing. And it's called iOS 26, which I kind of agree with more because it's what year did my iOS come out? Well, I don't know. I'm on 17, 18. And so they're switching from iOS 17, 18, and so on to the year.
Yep.
So essentially coming out in the fall of 25, but this is a update for the beginning of 26. So it's iOS 26, just to explain that.
Yep. And they're changing what Doug's talking about is they're changing the interface, and that the icons will change. The placement of some things is going to change. I can already tell, like they're moving things around. They're calling it liquid glass. Is that right?
Yeah. Apple, as you will see, they love names. They love naming things. So
Marketing.
weird.
It's all about the marketing.
Like their special screen was liquid crystal. No, what did they call it?
It's liquid glass. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
I'll look it up. They called their glass like eyewear or something.
Oh, did they? I'm looking at they call it. It says here universal design with liquid glass is what it says on the note within here. So you can look that up. Either way,
display. I don't know why I thought that.
Oh, Retina display.
Yeah. So they come up with names like that.
Yeah,
I get you. For my
no worries.
There. Yeah,
dude. If it's an Apple software product, they're changing it. I don't care if it's in your car, your TV.
Now, this right here, it's interesting, is called Apple Ultra. So what this is going to do is partner with actual car manufacturers to make Apple Ultra the entire system. So it's doing your speed and your oil and your
air gas.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Cool.
Yeah,
you can change. Yeah, you can change the whole dashboard on some of these cars. Of course,
and it looks awesome. Yeah,
I'm not going to go out and buy a brand new car for this, but
just for Apple Ultra, yeah, no, not at all.
It is cool though. It's neat what they're doing. I love that. It's the little features that Apple does. For example, if I am going to pick up Doug at the airport, it can detect that I'm going there, and Doug pops in a text message, and he said, "I just landed." It can infer that I'm picking up. It can see where I'm going. It knows what my GPS says. And then what it'll do, it'll pop up and say, do you want to send your ETA or your location to Doug? And you can just say yes, and it'll do it. Like, it just does little things like that. Now, phone. This is crazy to me. I want your thoughts on this. They do these new features called call screening. Now, the idea is, and I don't quite get how this works yet.
Yeah.
You get a telemarketer call, or anybody calls you, and what ends up happening is it will answer the call. Now, I don't know if it's Siri or whatever, but it prompts them to give like your name and what you need, and then it pings you, and you can choose whether to take it or not. That's one. I don't know how that quite works. That's one. Two, the other thing they have is a on hold. It detects on hold music. It will mute it, keep your space in line, put your phone away if you want. And then when the person comes on and detects it, it tells them to wait, and then it pings you to come back. Now, I'm wondering about the human element. Like, how many people are going to be like, what? We're busy. And then hang up on you. I'm wondering about, what are your thoughts on these phone features? I think they're cool. What do you think?
Well, my thoughts, and I'm getting on my little soapbox to apologize again for all my bad talking of iPhone, because I was such an Android fanboy, and then I came to iPhone. And like you said...
Heretic.
I know. Like you said, going back, Apple does so many things in the background to make it easier. One of the things I did was go to a concert last night. Uh, Concert tickets, holy crud! I checking into the concert, checking into the parking with my iPhone. That I don't know what their touch is specifically called. It's using Apple Pay. So easy. But going back to this, so call screening was actually a Google Pixel thing, and they only had it on the Google Pixel phone. So
Oh,
Google
okay.
Pixel runs Android.
Yep.
The Pixels, if you don't know, are strictly from Google. That's Google's own phone, but it's called Pixel Screening, I think, Screen
Okay.
Call. So what it'll do is it has like a robot. Hello, the person you're calling is using Pixel Screening. Please do the name of your call. So not to say Android had it first, but they did.
They may have, dude. It's a
But
cat
I
and mouse.
love it. So
Dude,
I love that it's coming over to iPhone. I think
Android had the magic background removal thing. You showed me that before I ever
Magic
had it.
Eraser. Oh, it's worked phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, you had it before I did. So this is how this goes with these
It
companies.
goes back and forth. Yeah.
It really does. I'm excited about what's. I didn't mean to derail you. I just realized it had creating a poll in your group chats. Now, when we decide that we want to, like, what do you want to do? Like, what time works best for you? When we're
Yeah.
talking with our friend Joe
It's
and
going to be
Matt
so
about
helpful.
D&D times, we'll just put times in there and everybody can vote.
Yep.
Sorry, I got
No, you're good. The creating
sidetracked.
polls is awesome, and I'll finish up with the phone
Yeah,
calls.
please do.
The other thing they have is that Hold Assist. Android had it as well. I never used that, but I love the Google Pixel screening, and I love that iPhone is getting that as well, because that's one feature I kind of missed coming from Android over.
Cool.
So it's awesome that that's coming.
Personally, I'm glad they had it first, because maybe that means they proved that it actually works and they got the
It
bugs
worked
ironed
great.
out. So
Well, and it works so great that in my job in law enforcement, I have nobody's contacts. I'm always getting new calls, so I had to turn it off a couple times because it was screaming everybody. So here you're trying to call this guy for help, and not 911 help.
No.
But
I see what you're saying.
you call this guy and a robot's answering, so that makes you mad.
Well, and that does make me wonder about things in general. That makes me wonder about, like I said, the human element. Are they going to wait for this thing to make you come back on the hold?
If I was a telemarketer, I'd be like, you put me on hold, you can't do
Well,
that. I put you on hold.
I'm not even thinking telemarketer. I'm thinking things that you actually need. You ever called a doctor's office? You're trying to get an appointment and they are slammed and they put you on hold for 20 minutes, or tech support with AT&T or a carrier. Can you imagine you've been on hold for 15 minutes? You walk away, your screener, then they come on and the screener says, "Oh, they'll be with you in a moment." I don't see the screener staying. I don't see the operator,
especially a local doctor's office.
Yeah, or honestly, a big cell carrier. They're gonna be like, "Screw you, next." Yeah. I don't know, bro. We'll see how. I'm a little. I think it's awesome.
I think you're right in that.
It's not shade on Apple. It's more about what really happens in the real world with some of these technology feature sets and how do they really take off or don't take off.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's jump through here. Dude,
if
live.
I could,
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say live translation. Did you see this?
I did. It looks awesome.
And Google has been doing live translation on some stuff too, and it's pretty good. This is cool when you're on a FaceTime call, a phone call. It literally translates for you and has series. I think this brings the world together and it's awesome. Your next thing you were going to say. Sorry about that.
I was kind of jumping backwards a little bit into the group chats. I just saw it. It says backgrounds. So think of our D&D group, like you said, if we can do polls in our D&D group, but we can also customize the background. This is just a minimal thing. I'm on Facebook Messenger. You can customize your Facebook Messenger groups with pictures and stuff.
Yep.
But I think it'll add a whole new element to conversations for you to add custom pictures.
I like it. And you also know you're in a different group at that point. It's kind of nice to have a visual cue.
Well, and I actually asked you to put our picture back because somehow it messed up, and that's how I differentiate my groups.
I bet it's
custom pictures.
Yeah, I know why. I bet it messed up because of that one lone friend running an Android. Just saying.
I do have green bubbles now. It's not me anymore. It's not me.
Oh, he dogs us. He sends us crap about Apple all the time, but I don't care what he says. Our batteries actually still
We need to do a battery test, Matt. I'm calling you out.
He's afraid. He's scared.
You know, I had an intervention, and I'm giving you one now.
He ain't gonna do it. We're calling our friend out hard today.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, this is something cool on maps. Now this is my wife and I talk about this. We will sometimes get into our car. We have Apple CarPlay and we'll plug it in and it pops up and it goes, "Are you going to Scooters?"
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
already does this on level.
Yeah.
And she always jokes, she's like, "Man, if somebody was cheating in their marriage, can you imagine it pops up going to your side chicks?"
Yeah.
So we always joke about that. We're like, "Oh my God, this is probably destroying a lot of marriages." And we always laugh about it. This is cool to me, and I'll explain why. Because for us, we had gone to the city. We went into St. Louis to go see a Billy Joel concert.
Oh,
We
nice.
needed to get dinner. We stumbled on this restaurant, and it was an Italian restaurant. It was so good. And for life of us, we're like, we can't remember where it is. We want to go back to it. It was so good, right? I generally know where it is and I can find it. Cool, right? However, with this new feature, if you enable it, it will track the places that you've been and logs them for you, almost like a travel log. And then with Apple Intelligence, with the AI, you can basically just say, you know, I don't want to say, "Hey, Siri," because she may wake up. You can say, "Hey, what was that restaurant, that Italian restaurant that we went to a few months back?" And it will search this and then go, "Oh, here it is. Do you want directions?" Like, I personally think that's awesome because that's a use case that her and I had recently when we were talking about, man, we need to go back to that place. We need to remember it. I think it's cool, but all you cheating spouses out there, you better watch out. That's my disclaimer.
I'd like to make it clear I don't have that problem. My problem is scooters. If my wife looks at my phone, it'll
She'll be like, "Why you been going scooters so much?"
Or, "Doug, did you go to Jalisco's without me?" Which I should tell people it's a little Mexican restaurant in our hometown.
It is. It's tasty.
So that's how I would get caught. Did you go get tacos without me?
I know. That would be it. For me, it'd probably be my kids. I'd be like, "Wait a minute, you went to Dairy Queen without me?
Without us? How dare you?"
Yeah. Oh, did you see that? I was going to ask you about this. The wallet. States getting on board with the driver's license can be in your wallet, and then your passport. Now, it doesn't replace your physical passport, but it can be used for some verification. I think this is cool because I love Apple Wallet.
I think it's great as well. I do not believe, and I'm doing a little fact checking.
I don't think they are. No,
Missouri does not support a digital
they said,
ID.
I think they said in the keynote there's only like 9 states right now. But they said more are coming. It would be cool if our state got on board with it, though. That would be neat.
Well, I mean, the AI answer from Google search says it does, but I'm
lies. I don't buy it.
Yeah, I don't buy it either.
I don't buy it because I think I looked it up not too long ago.
Yeah, so maybe that'll be a
maybe
thing
it's coming
in the future.
Yeah, maybe it's coming. I don't know, but for travel, it's pretty awesome. All right, what else do we have? Boy, this is so much, guys. We could go on and on and on.
I'm going down my list. We've kind of jumped around. You don't have to find it on there, but spam detection for text messages. So if you get all these spam texts, it's going to try to filter it out or even block it for you.
Yep.
New Gen emojis. There's a Gen emoji creator.
Cool.
Now, and I didn't know you couldn't do this, is you add 2 emojis together.
Yep.
Or you can create emojis of your friends with their faces.
Yep.
Let's keep.
I got one. Can I do one?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's only because it's on the screen. If you travel a lot, the phone will detect that you're in the airport and that you've landed, and it will automatically bring up the airport map
to get you
to your gate. If you have your ticket inside of Apple Wallet, which I do that all the time, it will know your gate number, and then it will guide you to it. Doug,
that's a game changer. Yeah. The biggest airport I've been in so far is Chicago, which you might have been in a big one. Yeah.
There's some pretty big ones. Yeah.
Seattle was huge. Portland was big. Yeah.
Dulles. I'll tell you what, you go to in Texas, you go to Dulles Airport. Dude,
Denver.
Trams.
I went to Denver. That thing is huge.
Dude, you go to like some of those ones where the trams connect you to the terminals. Like, yeah, man, there's some big ones. Atlanta's pretty big. I mean, there's some pretty decent sized ones out there. Anyway, we'll keep on going here. All the workout stuff. I don't look at your list. What else do you have?
We're
not going to get it all, but
no, and I'll try to wrap us up real quick. 3D lock screens. They're really pushing the and I can't think spatial photography. That's it.
Yeah, spatial scenes.
Right there. Yeah. So they're really trying to say that, hey, this $4,000 thing we made is really worth it.
Well, it's kind of. I don't know. It's trippy because they're doing spatial scenes, not just in the Vision Pro. Because watch this. On the video, they show that the photo of a dude leaning against a column, and as you move around the room, it's like you're there with them.
Uh-huh.
But they're doing it on the phones. Did you see that as well?
Yeah, so now you can have spatial photos, but you can also have a spatial lock screen. And that right there is crazy. So what we're seeing is a woman's like holographic image. I'm sure you're looking through the Vision Pro goggles.
Yep. So,
But nope, that's
yeah.
creepy.
I want to put it right there side by side. A lot of people complained about this when the Vision Pro came out. So the camera takes a picture of you. That's your avatar. So if you and I are having a conversation like we are now, you're floating, your head is floating on my couch. But
Oh, yeah.
people complained that it made you look really weird. And you can see the difference there. Well, apparently now it's super accurate. And you can side by side. Look at the difference on that. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty impressive. I don't know, bro. I kind of tune out a little bit on the Apple Vision Pro. And I'm gonna be honest with you. $5,000, it's the entry point. It's so cool, but I'm not going to do it. If I'm going to spend $5,000, I'm going to build a gaming machine. Like I'm going to
Yeah.
do something big. I'm going to get like a 100-inch flat panel television. Like I'm going to do something like that, right? And again, for me, I have a bit of a handicap. Doug's got his ears. I got my eyes. I'm blind almost.
We are
in one
good
eye.
together.
I know. We're like hear no evil, see no evil. If you ever haven't seen that movie, go check it out.
It is amazing.
we can
Richard
never-
Pryor and
Gene Wilder.
thank you.
It could never be made today, just so you know.
Oh,
no,
it's
it makes fun of people with
Blazing
disabilities.
Saddles level, yeah.
Oh yeah. Either way, I'm just not big on VR or AR so much because my eye
It's
messes.
so expensive.
Dude,
God. My
$5,000. $5,000.
goodness.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I love the idea of like having a cool like monitor in front of you to use, with your computer. That's cool. So it had neat stuff, but I kind of tuned out a little bit with it. What do you think
Now,
about that iPad? Let's talk
This
about
is where I
iPad.
think we should end because I've been using my iPad so heavily. They made tons of changes for the iPad. The new one is Stage Manager, which I tried it on my current iPad, but it's not what they're explaining right now. So Stage Manager is a way to get multiple windows open. This looks very Mac OS. I don't have a Mac, and I may
Dude,
need
spot
you
on.
to talk about it.
You're spot on. This is a big deal. Now, people have been saying for a long time that they should just put Mac OS on this. They're getting so close. What you're seeing on screen now, they're actually putting Windows on this thing. And I say Windows, not Microsoft Windows. I'm talking where you can open and close the panels like you can a MacBook. This is pushing this device more and more closer to being a laptop. And I recently got the larger one, as you see here, and I love it because all the stuff they're showing you, I do multitask. I use this thing constantly for work and for note. Love this. I ended up not getting a MacBook, and instead I did the larger. I haven't looked back. I love this thing to death. I love these features that's coming with it because it's going to make this thing more and more and more like a laptop. And guess what? I bought this to replace my laptop, and it's been great so far. So I am excited. Doug, you recently got your hands on this with the Wired Nerdy. See that? We got the sticker on the back.
I've got the 10.9 inch, right? That's
and the
technical,
10.9 is nice. It's
but
good.
You let me hold the big boy, and I'm hooked.
Everybody, I did not let him hold. He just took it out of my hands.
Whoa. I asked permission.
Don't put that evil on me. This is not my idea. Ashley, if you're listening,
she doesn't listen to the show. It'll be okay.
Thank God. I'll get in trouble. Your wife is going to be like,
but it was good. It has a lot of real estate. The one thing I believe, and I'm going to ask you this question, is I don't think iPad will ever add Mac OS. And my thought is products. So why add Mac OS to the iPad? Because then I think you're
competing with yourself.
Yes. And I just want to hear your thoughts about that.
Here's the thing. The minute they shoved the M4 into this bad boy, it gave it desktop power.
It's so far superior than most of their
iPad
older model.
The processor in this thing is equal to their desktops. Okay.
Yes.
The minute they did that, people are like, well, then why the heck won't you just put Mac OS? I'm going to tell you why. Number one, battery life. iPad OS is far superior because it's more lightweight. So you want good battery. You don't have to worry about this so much on the laptops. Okay. Number two, they are competing with themselves. Yeah. They don't want to do that. So I don't think they're going to go full-blown Mac OS on the device. I just don't. I think what they're doing here is to appease people that want that.
Yeah.
By putting windows on it that you can close and open and move things around. Mm-hmm. I think this is their step towards that. in doing that, but I don't think they'll ever go full blown Mac OS because there's no real reason to. That's my opinion.
One, I think this is a good bridge to make those that kind of want the Mac OS system or the whatever I'm trying to say.
The experience, I think
The
the
experience,
user
thank
the
you.
user experience.
Trying
Yeah.
to put it on the iPad. And
Yeah. What they're doing is great. They now have background tasks, dude. Everything on the Mac OS, on the on iPad OS. There's so many OSs, guys.
yeah,
Everything on the iPad section just shows me they're nudging it more and more so that it can replace your laptop.
Yeah.
All without just full blown putting Mac OS on it. Which honestly, I don't really want Mac OS on my iPad. I love iPad OS. I think it's snappy, it's fast, it's got, dude, the battery. I've been using this thing all day today for work and just I'm barely at like 70% on my battery. It's not, and I've been using it heavy.
yeah.
It's black magic. And I don't know, keep doing what you're doing. I don't think it needs full blown Mac OS on it. So that's my take.
Yeah.
Overall, we'll put a button on this, man. Like, I'm excited about the fall
Yeah.
because of all these changes. I'm excited about the glass, the liquid glass, like the see-through icons, if you want to do that. All these features are great. I'm excited we don't have to spend any more money to get all these cool features. And honestly, people, they dog on Apple because their stuff's expensive, and they are. But at the end of the day, they do updates like this that keep the devices relevant and your return on investment going. They do it more there than I say their competition. Just going to say it. Competition will tell you got to upgrade your device to get the features typically, or you can only do it on a Pixel. So that's my 2 cents. But this was a great keynote. Go back, watch it if you have time. There's a we were showing here. The Verge has a summary,
really good breakdown. Yeah,
28 minutes. So instead of watching an hour and 50 minutes or whatever it ends at 48 minutes, go watch the 28-minute one. It'll give you the rundown. You know what's coming. If you support your family and your life, it's probably good to go look because you're going to see like these new features, and your grandma's going to be like, "Why doesn't it look like this?" So this just kind of helps you get ahead of that. So I think that's it, man.
I think that's it. Yeah. Looking towards the future, we're working on a couple of interviews. We're working on some really good content. We got summer coming up, so there'll be movies and shows and some games to talk about. So it's going to be a good summer.
So much good stuff coming down the way. Don't forget, we have our socials. We got our Facebooks. We got our awesome Instagrammers. We've got a website with a merch store. We got all kinds of cool stuff out there to check out. So please do so. Also, check out our community partner of friends. We've got some friends out there that are making some great content. If you go to our Instagram, oftentimes we try to promote them through our stories.
Mm-hmm.
What's that old saying? Rising waters raise all boats, something like that. Have you ever heard that before?
I'm throwing out an old comment because you got me lost here.
Oh, yeah. I lost him. The point is, if you help others, it'll help you. That's what we're trying to say.
I like that better. I understand that. Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Millennial here. Sorry.
Doug's had a very long work day, and his brain's a bit fried. You should just hop in your car and go to Jalisco's, but just turn off your phone so your wife doesn't find out. That's what you should.
Yeah, but you think she'll hear the garage? That's what we got to work on.
There you go. All right, everybody. You have an awesome weekend. We will catch you next episode, and stay nerdy.
See ya.